Okay, I'm loving the YouTube chat today. Everyone's excited about a big Friday. We're excited because me and Gronk won our parlay. I was so stoked about, wow. Wheelo, you're clapping even though your Packers just got whopped.
GG.
GG, good game. GG. We're going to talk about Jordan Love, who I gave a lot of love to, and maybe unnecessarily, at least that offensive line. Hey, Bakhtiari, what's the story?
Reports are, they put him on injury reserve. He had a knee surgery.
IR for 4 weeks, I heard. No? Longer?
For the season.
What? I don't know about that. All right, we got a big show. We're going to get into that. Of course, I got another parlay for you this weekend to get into. We're going to ride the wave over at FanDuel Sportsbook. I've got sleepers for you. I've got daily fantasy plays for you over at FanDuel Sportsbook. And listen, we had a lot of wide receivers on the show this week. We had Debo. We had Keenan coming off an 18-catch day in Week 3. We had Deshaun Jackson on the show. Chris Hogan popped by to surprise Gronk on Wednesday. And now, Michael Pittman Jr. He might have had the best catch of the week. He did. He had the best catch of the week last week. He joins us. We talk a little Jonathan Taylor. We're going to talk a little Colts vibes coming off that crazy win. We also have this guy, an incredible person. He was a prolific player, an absolute legend. Malcolm Jenkins is stopping by our show. I want to know about Sean Payton. I want to know about the Eagles. I want to know about this book that he wrote that I'm 3 chapters deep into, and you guys can get wherever you buy your books. The foreword, by the way, by Tom Brady. Malcolm Jenkins on the show. Let's do it. Feeling grateful on a Friday, guys. At Up and Adam Show on Twitter. Thanks for everyone who rode along with Gronk and I. We won our parlay. We'll get to that, of course. Thanks to everybody who is subscribed to Up and Adam Show on YouTube. We see the comments. You got the usuals in here. I'm seeing Nicholas and I'm seeing Sean, and I'm sure Darius is in the mix. There he is. There's Darius. Can we get Poor Wheelo trending? Can we hashtag Poor Wheelo is what I'd like to see, because the Lions went into Lambeau last night and made a very clear statement with that 34-20 win. Anybody who wants that NFC North title, they're going to have to come through the Motor City. And I'm not at all surprised that they won. We talked about it yesterday, but I don't think anybody expected the complete and total butt kicking on Green Bay. Listen, it was 27. It was 50 shades of Atlanta over New England in that first half. Okay, it was 27-3. I give the Packers credit for battling back, but this was Detroit's night, people. Here's what a fired up Dan Campbell had to say in the locker room. Take a look at this.
You guys went and earned that win. Everything about it, man. That's one. That's 2 in a row, and it's a conference win, gentlemen. Great. We're 3-1 at the quarter. Man, the sky's the limit. We keep playing defense the way we're playing, and we control the game on offense. We control the game on offense. We can do whatever we want to do, man, but we can never lose this. We can never lose this. It is a team ball. Who said that? Oh. Team ball, there ain't no doubt.
Let's go.
That's an outstanding win, man. I'm so proud of you guys.
I just want him to be cast in the remake of The Big Lebowski. I just want it to happen. And he's so hilarious. His neck is out to here. He's got 17 veins popping out. And he should be excited. And by the way, the team ball, and I get all that, he shouts out the defense. Yesterday on the show, I said the offense is great, it's fine, but the defense, if they keep playing like the way that they're playing, and Hutchinson looks unbelievable, the Lions are going to be in contention, not just for a division title, but we are all convinced, as we were all offseason, all that. It's so rare that a team that's hyped up meets the hype. This team is meeting the hype, and they're going to battle it out with the likes of the Eagles and Niners and the Cowboys at the top of the NFC if they keep showing up like this. And I think the other thing that really impressed me about the win, about this team, is just the way they've taken on Dan Campbell's sort of rock, grunge, tenacious personality, the resilience, the fearlessness. We got the perfect example last night. Let's not forget, guys, this game couldn't have started any worse for the Lions. You're in Lambeau. The crowd's going nuts. Though I did see a lot of blue jerseys out there. That was really cool. And this happens on your opening drive. Oh, when this sort of thing goes on, it's a snowball into disaster for a lot of squads, a lot of people, especially in a road environment like that, the legacy that is Lambeau. But the Lions step up on defense. They make 3 straight stops. They force a field goal. And then the offense comes back out and marches right down the field. 7 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And the beatdown commenced from there. It was it not? Well, how would you describe what happened to your team last night?
GG.
GG?
GG.
It was a good game?
No, we can't stop the run. How much longer do we go with Joe Barry? What are we doing? I was texting Brian. I'm like, this is second half team. Watch. We get blown out. Come out of the gates.
this isn't about Joe Barry. This is about Dan Campbell, okay? We're not talking about that. We're saying, listen, it says a lot about the character. It says a lot about Dan Campbell. Look at this. Let me show you this, okay? It's a big reason the standings look the way they do, okay? The Lions are off to a great start. They want to they haven't won a division title since 1993. Soak it in, Detroit. We do want to dig into some of the few games coming up this weekend. We're not going to talk about the Packers. We're instead going to talk about the Patriots going to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. This is a big game. Pat's coming off their very first win. They're feeling themselves a little bit. Dallas, of course, lost a stunner against the Cardinals. And I think this is kind of a sort of what are you made of, make or break type of game on both sides. For New England, if they get to 2-2, it puts you right back in the conversation. You're a viable playoff threat in the AFC somehow. In Dallas, if you fall to 2-2, everything you did that was impressive, those first 2 wins of the year that had me saying, enjoy it, Cowboys, this is really great, that gets washed away, okay? That's power washed off the sidewalk, okay, into oblivion, down the sewer, down the drain, because no one is going to take you seriously as a Super Bowl contender. And when it comes to this Patriots-Cowboys matchup, there's one storyline that caught my eye and that I'll be paying close attention to. It's the whole Will Grier thing. And it's not just a cute storyline, and yes, all teams do it, but he spent the entire preseason with the Cowboys. He's cut after the Lance trade. He goes to the Bengals practice squad, and then Bill Belichick is like, let me be the claw in the arcade and just go, there's Will Grier. Let me pick him up and put him on my roster and put him in the room under the bright lights. Tell me everything. Give me all the intel about the Dallas offense. I need to know it all. So we talked to Logan Ryan, who we donated $1,000 to RARF, his foundation that he's very close with and works on to support animals. But he was on the show, and while I had him, I asked him about this Bill Belichick arcade. Did you like my arcade call? What do you think? Take a look.
Every team does it. Every team does it, and I think it's definitely you're gonna know that other team's playbook a little bit, but the game's all about adjustments in game, and Bill Belichick is so good in that. Every team kind of does that. Every player's been around. I probably know 7 playbooks off the top of my head from my career, so that information's out there. I don't think it has that much of an impact.
Typical Patriots, Logan Ryan downplaying it, totally downplaying it, and I do know other teams do it, but there's always an extra spotlight on things that Bill does even now, and if this New England defense seems to have a beat on Dak and Mike McCarthy's play calling on Sunday, I'm definitely attributing it to the sly move from Belichick. Let's go to the Bengals here. They're taking on the Titans. It's this weekend. It's happening in Nashville, and this game comes on a short week for them after the Monday night win that kind of saved them from the brink of absolute disaster. But one of these teams is going to head right back to that brink and fall to 1-3 on Sunday. That's why I want to, we have to pick the games that we talk about to start the show. It's only a 1-hour show, so we want to get to as many. And this one's interesting because the Titans have lost 9 of the last 10. They're spiraling. And I feel like if they don't get this one, I don't know what they do. I don't know how they make it back into the mix in the AFC. And after this game, we'll have Taylor Lewan on Monday to sort of break it down. On the Bengals side, you got this calf thing with Joe Burrow, and it's the storyline. It's the storyline at the top of the AFC. It was a big-time factor on Monday. It limited his mobility, his ability to throw down the field. And Aaron Rodgers even said the other day, and we asked Daniel Jones about it, he didn't give us a great answer. Of course, Rodgers gives McAfee the best answer of all time. And he said that he was texting with Burrow, that people don't realize how much pain Joe is actually. And that's what I was trying to drive home with the whole planting your leg thing and how important calves kind of are in that situation. And, Rodgers has given Burrow on McAfee tons of credit for downplaying the injury and gutting it out and getting the job done. And Joe was asked about his conversations with Aaron during media availability, and here's what he has said.
We connected last week, kind of wanted to, he's dealt with calf issues his whole career and, wanted to use him as a resource for that and, give his thoughts, what he might have done. And, I think, take into account what he has to say. He's been through it, done that. And he was great about it. So I'm going to continue to use that as a resource. He's a great guy. And so whenever you have a guy like that that's willing to help, you're going to use it.
What's the best piece of advice you've given so far?
Keep that between us.
He always keeps it close to the vest, that one. I wonder if Joe was like, why did you say that on McAfee? Why did you even tell him? But it's week 7 there. Okay, does this mean, is Joe going on a darkness retreat for his bye week? Is he going to go, what kind of advice is he giving him for, gutting this out? What can you do? What can be done here? I mean, I will say a couple things that are interesting. Developing a friendship with Aaron Rodgers, the patron saint of healing, and being a good resource for these young quarterbacks, which is amazing to see. That's great. He's the perfect person. This makes me feel good, okay? It says a lot about Aaron, too, that he's willing to give that advice, and he's available. You know, a million people bother Aaron Rodgers all day long. They do. They text him. They want something from him. They want to talk to him, connect to him, be close to him, all that, wish him well, all that. It's got to be hard. So for him to even take the time to do that is incredible. And I also think it says a lot about Joe that he's willing to ask for it. It is not easy to say, hey, I need a little help. It is not easy. It's very hard to say, I'm sad, I'm not feeling great, this sucks, I need help. And so the level of respect that the two have for each other is really amazing. And if there's anybody to go to advice to, it is Aaron. It was just a smart play by Joe and his squad, right? Hamilton's twisted mind went back in the history books and found the 11 games, guys, look at this. The 11 games we saw Aaron play with injured calves during 2014 and 2016, take a look. Rodgers went 8-3 when playing with a calf strain in 2014. And then he revealed as a calf tear in 2016, throwing 27 touchdowns to just 4 picks and this beautiful. How do you have a passer rating of 108.3 when you have a bad calf? What is this? He willed the Packers, truly, to the NFC Championship game, even with injuries both of those seasons. So the bottom line is that Burrow can work through this. And it's up here, and that's Aaron will be helpful with that. And it's just whatever magic, darkness retreat, whatever, happens on, the actual calf in a physiological way. But if you're a Bengals fan, he's getting advice from a guy who played through the exact same injury and had looking back at the stupid amount of success, like almost a magical amount of success. So hopefully it pays off, and we see Joe take another step forward. Short week, hate to see that, but they've got the Titans. I like that, so we'll see how that goes. Now, what's happening on Twitter right now? Obviously, we have the Lions, Packers fallout from that. Oh, yeah, poor Velo.
Is this where we got?
This is where it is. I think there's no photo. Who's burn? It's someone's burner in there. I think it's Kat's. Kat Rogerson, I think your burner account is Michael Darrow. That's not a real name. The original MFD, come on.
At least they spelt it right. A lot of people go E before the I, so game to game. I gotta be honest with you.
Were you excited that we won our parlay?
I was jacked for that. I gotta be honest with you. I know I have to eat it on Wednesday when Gronk comes in the studio because I talked a lot of, crap at him about the Packers and him picking Detroit.
When are we doing? Are we giving some love to the parlay? That's not now. I thought it was now. All right, Sorry. Oh, poor Wheatlow. There it is. All right, we're going to take a break here. Next on Up and Adams, he's a wide receiver, the number 1 wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, and he's on the show. Michael Pittman is here. What a ridiculous wingspan. And quite the character as well. Meet Michael Pittman Jr. next on Up and Adams. All right, week 4 is here. You're setting your lineups. You're over at FanDuel Sportsbook. You're figuring out who to put in slot, and let's do it here. Here's some values. DF, yes. Put these guys in your lineup at quarterback. I know you're like, huh? Listen to me. Russell Wilson against the Bears defense. He's thrown for 300 plus in back-to-back games, just saying, and he's a bargain. At running back, there's the guy, James Cook. He's currently second among running backs in scrimmage yards, and the Dolphins' run defense has been vulnerable. You know they're going to run up the score. They're going to have to make it happen. I would go that way. And at receiver, Devontae Adams, he's the 6th priciest receiver. Maybe because Jimmy G's status is up in the air, but even if it's Aiden O'Connell, you guys okay? Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, Devontae's going to get fed and put up numbers. There you have it, some daily fantasy plays and values for your Week 4 lineups. We have Malcolm Jenkins on the show. We're very excited about that, but our guest right now I had a chance to sit down with. He's the #1 wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, coming off a clutch game against the Baltimore Ravens. I'd like you to enjoy, meet, and join me in finding it impossible to not root for Michael Pittman Jr. Okay, so Michael, you have this big game against the Ravens. So does that mean you just don't have to practice this week? You're just hanging out with cows on a farm?
That's definitely not what that means. That we have a heavy day of practice today, and we're gonna make it through after that overtime finish. So we're going to get through today, and we're going to have a great practice.
Tell me about the cows.
So me and my wife, we went to go see some cows yesterday because I actually just got 42 acres around here. So we're starting our own little hobby farm. We got chickens, and I'm working on a new poultry shed. I'm gonna get turkeys, peacocks, guinea fowl, and then more chickens.
Well, you mentioned a lot of birds. So you're a bird guy, the chickens, the whatever, all the different kinds of birds. You took care of a set of birds last week with those Ravens. You mentioned the overtime win. The catch. I saw what you told the Colts about the catch. Your helmet flies off. You get crushed by the safety. Is this your favorite catch of your career?
I would say it's up there. Probably my favorite is the one versus San Francisco, in the bomb cyclone, just because it was pouring rain and it was the game-ending catch, it was basically the game-ending catch. And that was probably my favorite moment because you just heard the whole crowd go silent. There's quiet as a mouse in there.
You and Anthony Richardson seem to really have it. You're clicking. You started the season with him. You, of course, missed last week with a concussion. What makes you two work? I've heard just incredible things about the young man he is off the field, and of course, we're seeing what he can do on the field.
Absolutely. I mean, Anthony is just, he's just so calm and composed for being so young and a guy coming into the NFL who didn't necessarily have a ton of quarterback reps. Just how he's grown over the last couple months. I mean, he's come a long way fast, and he's only getting better. And if you guys can believe it, I mean, I don't think he's scratched the surface of what his potential is. So he's only going to get better and better.
And it hasn't always been the smoothest ride there for you in Indy, right? 4 starting quarterbacks in 4 years. You got to go from Frank Reich to a little moment with Jeff Saturday, and now you have Steichen. What is it about Steichen that you want people like me, who's, on social media, barking, blah, 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 doing shows? What do you need me to know about Steichen and how he operates?
Well, I'll start with this. I mean, I was really grateful towards Frank, and I thought Frank did a good job. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. But with Shane, I would say Shane really, he doesn't let any little thing slide. And he's very on the little details. And I feel like we have more effort play than maybe we had in the past. And you kind of saw that in that one fumble that we had Sunday, where we had the fumble, we had Q run in and hit somebody, and then Gardner dove in and hit somebody and popped it out. Then I was running and I was able to get the ball because of those other guys. And we just had the whole team just running to try and save that play. And last year, I just didn't really see plays like that.
I know it's early, and obviously Anthony didn't play last week. Minshew, by the way, was amazing. Have the vibes changed? Have they changed your belief truly in this Colts organization?
Yeah, I mean, I always go into every game thinking hey, we're going to dominate and we're going to win. And But I think it definitely does a lot for us when you have wins like that. I mean, just gutsy wins in a very hostile place where it's raining, the conditions are bad, and you just gut out just an overtime win. I mean, I think that's huge for us. I think it inspires confidence. And I've always said that wins lead to more wins. So
you're a free agent. I'd love to see you stay in Indy. There's business to it. I know it's early. You're not thinking about it. You're thinking about those Rams and what you can do against them. If you're writing down your pros of why you would want to remain in Indianapolis Colt, what's at the top of the list?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that I think there's a lot that me and Anthony can do. And I want to be here to help develop that. And I want to be a part of the Colts rise back to what we were like in the past. But like you said, like at the end of the day, like it's a business, and I just know that it's an audition for 32 teams, and I just got to do my best to make my case that I'm the guy for whoever might want to have me like on their team. So, of course, like I would love to stay here, but you're right, like it's a business, and here's my audition for the 2024 season.
I mean, I think you can just send that one clip, that one catch from the Ravens game, and you're set. But you're saying you want to be there. I think that's enough. I think that's what the fans want to hear, especially with what's gone on with Jonathan Taylor. You as a impending free agent, like you're seeing how that's playing out. And then Jonathan Taylor, we're hearing all sorts of news. What's sort of your vibe with JT? What's your relationship with that situation?
Yeah, I mean, we all love JT, and we know how valuable he is to our team, and like I'm a guy that I'm gonna ride with like the players, like whether they're just like whether it's wrong like or right, like not saying it is like wrong or right, but like I'm just a players guy, and we support him, and we're excited for him like when he gets back and when he's 100% ready to go. And I think when he gets going, it's all going to be water under the bridge. And at the end of the season, I think that we'll look up and it might be a thing of the past.
I have a feeling, though, and you're not going to admit to this, I kind of think you like that he's not out there yet because Steichen's throwing the ball more. These numbers you're having this year are looking crazy. I think you're like, he's back in there, JT.
Yeah, so that's actually funny you said that, because my second year here, I had a conversation like with my dad. Like I was like, Dad, I'm not going versus these corners. It's more me versus JT because he's doing so well. Like how, you know what I'm saying? Like just like I expect them to just hand him the ball like every play because he's gonna break off like these long runs. So like I'm like, it's not really me versus like the defense, it's me versus JT. So but no, I mean, like in all seriousness, like I can't wait for him to be back out there, and it's going to be fun and dynamic. I mean, everything that he can do, like I'm excited for him.
Congratulations so far this season on success, doing it with Minshew, without the high price item that is Anthony Richardson, without Jonathan Taylor. It's been really impressive to watch you guys run that division to start here. You got a big one against the Rams this week. You guys want to keep it going. I personally don't know what to make of the Rams. Like I don't know. And I know you're watching defensive tape. All I can look at, Puka Nacua is crushing it. Like, and I know Samson was with you last year. What do you make of what Puka's doing?
Yeah, I mean, Puka, like I want to say he came out of nowhere, but I mean, like he's been that guy ever since like college. So the funny thing is he actually was supposed to come to USC when I was there, and for whatever reason, like he decommitted and ended up going to USC or to BYU. I mean, he's just lighting it on fire. I mean, he's a very tough contested catcher. He runs great routes, and he's got really strong hands. And Matt Stafford, I mean, Matt Stafford is playing great. His like accuracy and everything that he's got. And their defense has a lot of guys like who are young, and they can play. You know, a lot of people would say they don't have very many big name guys, but I think they're playing well. Like when I turn on tape, like they look like a good defense. They look like their players are very tough guys, and they want to play. They're out there talking trash. Like you could see it like on film. And I think they're better than what people have been giving them credit for.
Michael, I just feel like, and I'm thinking about like the Colts the franchise does not get enough credit for creating like some of the biggest media post-career person. And you got a long way to go, but like Peyton Manning runs the world,
Yes.
Omaha Productions. He's ever did a commercial. Then you got McAfee, also runs the world and everything. Like, are you the next Colt to do it?
I mean, I never say never, but actually coming from a background where I actually stutter a lot, and I still do now. Speaking of that, my cleats is actually the NSA, which is the National Stuttering Association. So coming from my background, I never thought that it was possible, but I feel like I've come a long way. And anything's possible, and I want to show other kids that yeah, you could do it. I mean, like, I never seen myself being able to do stuff like this. And just over time, I just got better and better and better. And now I feel like more comfortable with it. I'm not as scared to speak like in public, like as I used to be. So yeah, anything's possible.
I have to say, I think you got a future. I mean, you got a future in this. That's what I think. That's what I would say. And we appreciate you sharing that. We'll be rooting for you with My Cause, My Cleats, with all that coming up in the next couple of weeks. Now we want to play one last game. We got some good quarterbacks on your team, some great quarterbacks and personalities. We wanted to see which one of your quarterbacks you would pick in different scenarios. So we're calling it Rich or Minch. Okay? Which of your quarterbacks would you rather ride a tandem bicycle across the country with?
I'm gonna say Anthony, just because like you've seen the guy's legs, like they're huge. Like he'll just carry me.
He'll carry you. You can work out your processing beef in your head while Rich is riding you across the great country. 66. Okay. You're already married to your beautiful wife, Kiana, but if you could marry her again, which I know you would love to any day of the week, which of those quarterbacks would you pick to give the best man speech at your wedding, Rich or Mitch?
Oh, that's tough. They're both great guys. I would say Gardner for sure, because Gardner's going to come up with something very creative, and very, very like unique for sure.
I mean, he probably wear jorts to your wedding, so you got to make sure that there's like a dress code.
Yeah.
Which of your quarterbacks would you pick to compete with your family on an episode of Celebrity Family Feud, Rich or Mitch?
I'm going to go with Gardner. Gardner knows a lot of surprising facts that like you just would never think of.
Last one for you. The Super Bowl, it's in Vegas this year. Which of those quarterbacks would you most want to plan some sort of a Vegas-y style weekend with, Rich or Mitch?
Vegas-y, I would probably say both of them. I mean, like it's hard to pick one. Anthony for sure, because Anthony's popping, right? I mean, like he's got all the connections. I mean, like you should see his like fan mail. I mean, he's getting stuff that I've never seen before. You know?
Like what?
I mean, like I don't want to say it because I'm not sure he wants his business like put out there, but like stuff that I've never seen before. Okay. So like I will say I did see like a $20 bill like in an envelope like from a fan. A fan's never given me money. So not that anybody needs it around here, but like, it was just crazy. Like I was like, bro, you just got like a $30 million like sign-in bonus. Like, just why are they sending you dollar bills? So
he's the right choice. You got the person who's like walking into the strip and like everything's paid for. You got that's Anthony right now, and then you've got Gardner, who's just a maniac, and it's a good call. It's a good call to pick both.
100%. I mean, he's the good time guy. He'll show up in his sunglasses, like in a hoodie with no shirt underneath, half zipped down, just like ready to go.
Michael, this was a pleasure. Good luck against the Rams this weekend. I know you got to go watch tape and got to, go milk the cows. So good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, there's Michael Pittman. His Colts, by the way, as we talked about, they're in Indy. They're back. They got the Rams this weekend. Quarterback Anthony Richardson, he's practicing in full, which we love. He talked about him as a man, as a young player. I heard from inside that building, this is someone who comes in and wants to learn about how to be a leader. He's, trying to make it. You've got to be healthy to do that, of course. But if the Colts guys are able to win this game and get to 3-1, I think this does become one of the cooler stories in the league this year. They've had these crazy injuries. They have no expectations. They've got the a wild owner. It's just true. And the Jonathan Taylor sitch. Like, it's going to be hard to not be impressed with what Shane Steichen has been able to pull off so far this season. Anthony Richardson talking a lot about wanting to be a leader. Well, I got a book for him to check out. Okay, this is a book from somebody who is a leader, always has been. Every coach, every player, every person in the media knows it. We have Malcolm Jenkins on the show, to talk about his book with a foreword by Tom Brady, mind you, What Winners Won't Tell You, lessons from a legendary defender. We'll be right back.
They say it's a game.
Tipped away. Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins puts him on his backside. What a stop by Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins.
Know how you play.
And Malcolm Jenkins is going to cruise home for a pick six.
They say it's a game.
I miss watching him play. I know everyone in Philadelphia misses him, New Orleans, I'm sure. Offenses outside of those two teams do not miss facing him. 13 years. 13 years of NFL experience as a safety, two-time Super Bowl champion, three-time Pro Bowler, and the author of a new book, What Winners Won't Tell You. Malcolm, what do I need to know? And congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, this is a lot to know in this book. Not only do I go through my 13 years, my career and kind of go through the ups and downs, but I really intertwine it with the lessons and key moments just in my life, in my childhood, my personal life. I kind of unveil, a lot of the things that I compartmentalized or hid from the public, in some of the most, public times of my life when I had the limelight, when my team was doing the best. I was struggling a little bit behind closed doors, but really persevered through it. And I take the time to really highlight all the people who've made impacts in my life, who I drew inspiration from, And it's really truly, me trying to contextualize all that I've been through in this last 13 years.
It's a really true passion project. By the way, there's these amazing, I've never seen these photos, these inserts. I'm actually going on a flight today, so I'll be able to take this with me. My producer, Marissa, dug into this, and it's available, by the way, everybody, October 3rd. So you can get your hands on it and get your pre-orders in now. And one of those people that she's noticed stuck out right away, as far as shaping you, as far as being somebody who can help you get through adversity, knowing how to be, is your relationship with your mom.
Yeah, my mom is a warrior. She's a breast cancer survivor, and one of the people who, just always been, my number one supporter. Obviously, she's my mom, but even when it comes to shaping who I am in the community, she's planted the vision for, what that could be. She helped me start the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation. We did that over a decade ago and have expanded it over 4 states. We do work in Ohio, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Louisiana. And that's all really, she's the boots on the ground. And obviously been my biggest fan. And when she was going through her deal, I had to show up for her the same way she showed up for me. And her example has allowed me to kind of spread that across the world, really.
And then you have Tom Brady writing the foreword to this guy. How did that go? Did you guys just decide to not talk about Super Bowl 52 during this conversation? How did you get him to do this?
I definitely don't bring it up when you want that forward. But it came up. It's one of those things. We titled it "Lessons from a Legendary Defender," and we started thinking about who could do the foreword, and Tom's name came up, and I'm like, I don't know. I've been trolling Tom since that Super Bowl for a few years now. But I shot him a text, and he obliged, and it definitely, was the cherry on top for, the story of my career.
Well, I can't wait to read it. I know a lot of adversity, and like you said, a lot of things that and you've been very candid during your 13-year career, but it's stuff that we maybe haven't heard, and I can't wait to get into it. I do want to talk a little football, can't we?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start with Philly. Your Birds, they're off to a hot start, 3-0. Yeah. Things are looking pretty good. But they are, like you're saying, even when things are going well, there might be some bad things that people don't talk. The safety department, my friend, Budda Baker's name, he's been floating around since the summer about this connection to Philly. Do you think Howie is giving Arizona a call? Should they?
I don't think so. Not right now. I think they're doing well. And it's one of those things where if you start to see some lack or you really need a need, they don't have the established names that I think everybody's been used to, but they're playing well, and especially on defense. So if I'm Howie, I'm not going to rock the boat too much. I'm obviously going to keep your eyes open. That's his job. But right now, I think they're good. Blankenship and those guys are doing well.
Deshaun Jackson was on my show this week, and he had just texted Howie, and I think he's trying to find his way back.
Yeah, I mean, hey, to each his own. I know he can still run. That's half the battle. But I won't be the one. I'm not texting Howie to get
You're
back.
not.
I'm secure in this seat. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're. People like to leave the window open and like to leave. You feel good. You left at the right time.
It was open last year. I was still open. Hey, okay, end of the year, give me a call. And that actually almost came to fruition, but it didn't. So once the Eagles Super Bowl was done, so was that window for me.
What do you make of the Philly offense? I know you're a defensive legend, but I think they're great. But these Philly fans are saying, I don't know. I don't know if they're that great. But then they've got Sam Howell this week, whatever. Do you have any issues with the offense or things that need to be improved in your eyes with Philadelphia's offense?
No. I think, one thing that will happen when you win a Super Bowl or you go to a Super Bowl is that the expectations sometimes get skewed, right? Now, Philly has never been a place where style points has mattered. And all of a sudden you win a Super Bowl, you have some success, and now we don't want to just win. We want to win convincingly and in style. But that's really not the personality of this team, right? It's about getting the job done each week. And improving as the season goes on. And I think as long as they're still putting up W's, they're still doing the things that win. They're not doing the things that lose games, which we haven't seen from this Eagles team. I'm not worried at all.
I can't mention Philadelphia. My producer, Marissa, who was reading your amazing book, which, by the way, is available in a couple of days, October 3rd, guys, check it out. But she's from Philadelphia, so she was very excited to handle this interview and to produce it. And she said, I couldn't not get your thoughts on a crucial piece of news, I guess. Wally, the emotional support alligator. Have you seen this? He was denied access to the Phillies game or something. I don't know. I don't quite know the story, but basically, Philly fans are the most unhinged fan base in the NFL, right? How special are they?
They are definitely unique, and you definitely don't want them on you don't want to be on the bad side of that group. When you're on the good side, there's no better place to play. And I remember when I got there, coming from New Orleans, I'm like, okay, I've got to start fast because I've seen them turn on people, especially at the safety position. They want, they expect excellence after Brian Dawkins. And I end up starting the season, I think, with like 3 interceptions and 1 for a touchdown in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And that gave me some runway, to win and pull on the heartstrings of the fan base. But I'm glad I've been on their good side for the majority of my career.
I don't know that you're on anybody's bad side unless you're like a Tom Brady, and then you wrote the foreword for your book. So I don't know. I think everyone loves Malcolm. I got to tell you, I was in Denver in August, sometime during training camp, and I talked to Sean Payton, and we had a nice chat, and your name came up 7, 8 times. He just brought you up. He loves you, of course, just as a leader on the team and what you were for them. What do you make of what's going on with Sean Payton's team right now?
Well, I think, it's tough. You got to look back at like what happened with Sean when he took over the Saints, right? Anytime a coach brings his new philosophy, there's always going to be that turmoil. You've got to instill this new philosophy. And Sean is hard. Like, I talk about it a lot in my book. Some of the times where Sean has like said things to me, and I'm like, wow. Like, I remember one. I talk about a book. He walks up to me after I missed a few tackles in a game and told me, hey, safeties that miss tackles are somebody else's safety. And this is, I'm a first-round draft pick. I'm feeling very secure. I didn't feel very secure in that moment, and so he demands a lot from his players. And I think the sooner the team buys into it, the better they'll be. But obviously, it's not going well. If somebody puts up 70 points on you, then nobody's secure or happy. But hopefully that team will come together. Then or they'll fracture, and we'll see what that looks like. But right now, it's definitely at one of those crucial points in the season.
With your best guess, what has the week been like with Sean Payton for this defense?
Oh, it's been uncomfortable. I guarantee you. He's not somebody who's quiet and in these moments where he's going to be soft and encouraging and worry about the psyches of his players. It's like, no, he creates an environment in which, the men will stand up and those who are fragile will reveal themselves. And I think if we watch closely, we'll see what happens with his team. They'll either embrace that mentality or they'll fracture and it'll get worse.
Did you have to call him and say, hey, I'm going to say this stuff in the book about how mad you can get? Did you give him a heads up? He doesn't know.
No, he doesn't. He's going to read this for the first time like everybody else October 3rd.
Wait, I love that. I love that. Lessons from a legendary defender, what winners won't tell you with Malcolm Jenkins. What's the maddest you've ever seen Sean Payton?
The maddest I've ever seen Sean, or the one that just pops in my head, is I remember Reggie Bush fumbling a ball. It was one of those questionable things where he gets hit and they have to review if it's a fumble or not. And he gets up and immediately tells Sean to challenge it. And it looks like a fumble from where I stood, but he's telling Sean to challenge it. Sean challenges it, and of course it's overruled. It's a fumble. Sean walked through everybody, found Reggie on the bush, and said some word to him that I can't repeat on this spot.
Yeah,
on this
probably not.
But he was. But Sean his game day is tough. He's been well documented going off about like which bubble gum he used to have in his mouth, things like that. He's an intense guy, but he loves his players. He loves the game. I enjoy playing for him.
I thought you were going to say, we looked it up. I said, Malcolm, because 70 points is just crazy. Like, that's just crazy. And I said, let's look up the worst game that the Saints ever had.
Oh, please no.
But I'm going to bring it up because it was 2012. Do you remember this? The Saints gave up 52 to the Giants, but who hurt themselves early in the game? You left the game and the defense fell apart. But I bet he was big mad.
No, time out. I couldn't even do it because 2012 was the founding year, right? So Sean wasn't even there. And we were the worst defense. We were the worst defense in NFL history that year. So
Shit, we got that wrong.
I can't even save myself here.
we got that wrong. Okay, Saints. Alvin Kamara. What do you make of the Saints? It's the Saints against the. I mean, that's a beautiful. We got Marshawn Lattimore. We get Mike Evans. That's always fun for fans. We love that. You've been part of those before. Who do you think's winning the battle this time? Alvin Kamara, by the way, back. We don't know if it's Jameis. We don't know if it's Derek Carr. We don't know yet.
Yeah. I think, obviously the quarterback situation is a huge question mark, if Carr's going to be ready or not. But I love that matchup. That team, those two, are built, for each other, especially as Saints defense was literally orchestrated to match up against Tampa Bay. I love watching Marshawn and Mike go at it. That's one of my favorite wide receiver DB rivalries in this game. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who gets the best of who. It's always fun. Now, I can't wait. First of all, congratulations on being inducted into. And I'm not a college gal, and I'm not I don't pay attention as much as everybody else does. But that's great. You're in the Ohio State Hall of Fame. Every former Buckeye I talked to, so loyal to their school. So congratulations to you for that. We wanted to have some little fun before we let you go. You were part of some really incredible, passionate football organizations. The Eagles, the Saints, like I just mentioned, and Ohio State. So let's play a little Power Jenkins, okay? Not Power Rankins,
okay.
Power Jenkins. I'm going to give you a topic, and you tell me which place gets the #1 spot, okay? Just who's the best with the following things. Where's the best place to have a drink at? A cocktail, a little nosh? Is it the bars near Ohio State, South Philly, or Bourbon Street?
South Philly.
Okay, South Philly vibes. We love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk just city life, ambiance. You walk in and you say, this is the place. Is it Ohio Stadium, the Link, or the Superdome?
That is tough. I would say the Superdome.
The Superdome, yeah, that's crazy in there. Now, what team had the best teammates? Like, just your favorite, if you had to pick. Your college days, your Bird days, or your Saints days?
So there's a difference here. In the Saints, I was being raised by the majority of the guys. So I was the youngin'. Whereas in the Eagles, I was kind of like, everyone was under me. These were my guys that I was raising. So I think, one of my favorite rooms of all time, I was actually thinking about this the other day, was either the Super Bowl defensive back group my rookie year when I was youngin', or it was the Super Bowl defensive back group with the Eagles with Roddy McLeod and Jalen Mills, all of those guys. We were like really, really tight. Those were two of the units I've been most close with, still friends with to this day. So I can't really toss it up, but those two teams, two teams had some good relationships.
I love that. Last one. This one's tough. Which place has the best fans? Ohio State, Philly, New Orleans.
I'm gonna have to go with Philly on this one. I'm an East Coast guy. I love the demeanor that they have. I love the disposition that they have for everything. It fueled me as a player. I told somebody recently, like when my first game as an Eagle, our offense went 3 and out the very first drive, and they started booing, and it was the best feeling ever. Like I was like, yes, this is gonna be home for me. I'm gonna get right along with these people.
Oh my gosh, I was there a couple of weeks ago when they had the Vikings in town, and they put me on the big screen to do something, and they wanted me to talk in the microphone, and I said, I'm not doing it. I don't want to get booed. I go, I'll wave, but I'm not talking. I'm not that stupid. See, that's the difference. You're a legend and a leader, and this is why I need to read this book, because I go, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. Everybody, please go get.
The very first chapter is called Fear. You got to lean into your fears.
Wow, wow, I love that. Okay, guys, put it on your calendar. Get it wherever you get your books. What Winners Won't Tell You, everywhere on October 3rd. I will be reading this on my flight to Wisconsin today. Malcolm, thank you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the read.
I will, and congratulations on this. I can't wait to check it out and read. And I love the pictures, and I love the fact that I just got called out on my fear. Which is true. Next up, it's Friday. We've got some games to cover. Hamilton's going to pop in, and we're going to learn a thing or two about the Dolphins. Samuel, welcome to the show.
How you doing, DJ? What's up, bro?
Hey, look, I would hate to be on the other side and try to tackle you. Them defenders, bro, just tell them to get out of the way, bro.
Daniel, don't smile if Saquon Barkley is suiting up.
I'm not gonna. Come on, man.
I gotta say, man, you are super jacked. I mean, you were jacked when we were playing.
You know what? I had a feeling you were gonna say something because you commented on all my posts, and you're gonna make me blush.
You taught me something when I saw you in August. GG. GG. Good game.
That's it. That's all you gotta say. It's GG.
How about Daniel Jones, like the black belt, wax on, wax off? Do you think that I'm stupid? You're texting Howie Roseman on a random Monday just to say what's up, or are you trying to like butter him up for a little postseason action? Don't lie.
Hey, one thing I can say, I definitely got a lot of juice in the tank.
Playmakers. These are some players I think will find the end zone in week 4. I had a really strong start, but I don't know. Let's see what we can get. Bijan Robinson, I think he's going to score. It's in London. It's the Jags. He still hasn't punched one in on the ground. I think it changes. Across the pond. How about Alvin Kamara is back. Season debut against the Bucs. That's maybe my favorite game this week. And he has scored more touchdowns on Tampa than any other game in his career. Yardage, maybe not. They sort of give him some trouble on the ground. He does a lot through the air, and he scores touchdowns. And finally, big swing, big punch. We met him this week. He didn't even fit in the camera frame behind Keenan Allen. Quentin Johnston snags a touchdown pass from Herbert in his expanded role, filling in for the injured and wonderful and wishing lots of love, Mike Williams. So let's do it. Quentin Johnston, Alvin Kamara, Bijan Robinson. Those are my K-makers. Anytime touchdown scores. This NFL season, Smirnoff helping fans get ready for game day with a lineup of delicious signature football-themed cocktails, and Smirnoff is giving FanDuel fans more ways to win. Listen to this. It's the Smirnoff number 21 Sunday primetime cocktail pick'em. Long name, but lots of fun. Every single week from now through the Super Bowl, head to FanDuel.com/Smirnoff. Simple enough. There's 7 cocktail-themed questions. They're not about the cocktails. They're about the Sunday night game for a free shot at $10K in prizes. Hamilton is here because he loves Smirnoff 21, and so do I. And we're gonna do some questions. And this is, okay. Wow. Let's see if he notices.
Really?
You two need to figure this out.
Come on, man.
This is more a shot at you for the pandering comment. But yeah.
The pandering comment. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was old news. All right, we've got the Smirnoff 21 $10K in prizes, so let's do this. This one might be pretty close to a free square, but I'll ask anyway, Hammer. The completion Cosmo question of the week is, which quarterback will complete more passes on Sunday night? Zach Wilson or Patrick Mahomes? If I'm taking straight shots of Smirnoff 21. What do you got?
This is the easiest completion Cosmo we're going to get. And there's no better time to play this game, right? Because you're getting an absolute gimme right out of the gates. Mahomes has averaged 10 more completions per game than Zach Wilson so far this year. You got to go Mahomes.
All right, guys, check it out. Go to FanDuel.com/Smirnoff to answer those questions and try to win and compete. We're doing it all the time. Now, we got hammer time. Let's hit it, because you're going to tell me some things about the Dolphins offense that I have not heard yet. What do you got?
Well, here we go. We got a 2nd and 16. Tyreek Hill is at number 2 in this trips formation here. You see the Broncos want to press up on him, get hands on him, not let him get going with that speed. But the shift from Mike McDaniel forces them to change the coverage. The DB has to slide inside. Now Tyreek has that major cushion to play with, a ton of space. And you're going to see just the confidence from Tua here. Look at how quickly he's letting this thing rip off the snap. He's going to find that window, place it perfectly over the linebacker's hand. The execution, the speed, it's all coming together for this Dolphins offense. You'll see it here from the end zone view, too, just the placement. Look at how that just barely clears the hand of the linebacker, Josie Jewell. And that's a hexagon of space for Tyreek Hill to operate with. Doesn't get any better than that. When you have that type of speed, those DBs have to respect it, and you see the cushion that he gets. Now let's go to the touchdown, because we found out yesterday, courtesy NFL Films, that Tyreek Hill runs the wrong route here.
Oof.
Robbie's running a post, Tyreek's running a post. And I want you to watch Tua here, because that's what really impresses me about this, is Tua's locked in on Robbie. He sees two defenders going to him. The safety's reading Tua's eyes. So Tua knows he has to come off this. He sees Tyreek doing whatever Tyreek wants to do. We don't know what the initial route was supposed to be yet, but he finds him. He adjusts to it as soon as he sees that Robbie's taken away. Even though Kareem Jackson's playing in Siberia, he still can't get the angle on Tyreek. Easy touchdown there for him. And then the misdirection that we saw in this game. The fullback's going to the flat. Tua's going to look there first.
Okay.
That forces the defense to have to widen out. Then they're going to fake the reverse. Everybody has eyes on that. And then you're going to see this right-handed toss to Achane. No look. Just absolutely beautifully executed. They give you so much to look at as a defense. And that's the issue here. When you have the type of speed that they have, and you do these type of motions, the misdirection, it's incredible and so tough to stop.
All right, thank you, Hammer. Time for that. They're incredible. They're unstoppable. And we'll see. The Bills just ruled out Jordan Poyer, so that's not going to help. What you're seeing here is a bit of a parlay Hammy and I put together. It's the Up and Adam same game parlay. It's the first one I'm doing that's just mine, but we just won with Gronk, so check it out. Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa through the air. Those are their passing yards. Even Steven. Tyreek Hill, 80-plus receiving. Stephon Diggs, anytime touchdown scorer. There we go. Go to FanDuel Sportsbook and have some fun.